Hello, good day viewers. Welcome to another mathematics lesson. So right here with me, I've got a question that is coming from Mathematics Paper 1 for 2023 internal candidates. And this is question 21. So this question is coming from the topic called linear programming, okay? So here we have the question. Write the three inequalities that define the unshaded region. So we have this Cartesian plane right here. So we have this line 1. We also have this line. We have this line, okay? Then this part is shaded, this part is shaded, and this side is shaded. We have this region called R, which is defining the unshaded region, okay? So they want us to come up with three inequalities. So in order for you to come up with the three inequalities, you need to identify first your lines, okay? You pick the easiest lines that you can start with. So in this case, we can name this as our line 1, okay? It's the easiest, okay? Then since this one and this one, you can pick any. So let's say we make this one as our line 2, then we make this one as our line 3. So we're going to start with line 1. So line 1 is very easy and simple because this line 1 is cutting the y-axis here, okay, at 6. So this line 1 is the line which is y equal to what? 6. Now we want to describe the unshaded region. So the region in which is shaded is greater, then the unshaded region is less. So we are going to write y, we leave space, we write a 6. Now this type of the line, it is a solid line, okay, meaning that this line is not dotted. So the inequality that you should come up with should include the equal to, okay. So I've said we are describing the unshaded region down here, then the shaded region is greater. So to describe the unshaded region, we are going to use less than because it's less, okay. So you say y is less than or equal to what? 6. So this is our first inequality. So I have answered for this line. Let us now answer for the second line. Alright, so we now come to our line 2 right here. So this line 2 is having a dotted line. Take note of this. So the inequality that we are going to use should not include this equal to, okay? Should just be less than or should be just greater than. Now, in order for us to find the equation for this line 2, this line is passing on this point 0, then it's also meeting on this point where I have 6,6. So take note of this. So we're going to come up with the coordinate. So here it's 0, 0. Then I'll name this as my coordinate B here. Okay, here where it's passing is 6,6. So I'll say 6,6. So even before we work it out, we know that this is the line y is equal to what? X. Okay, this is the line y is equal to x. So you can use this coordinate and this coordinate, or you can use this coordinate and this coordinate, or this coordinate and this coordinate, because gradient in the straight line is constant, is the same. So I've decided to use this and this so that I find my gradient. Then we are going to use the gradient to find the equation of this straight line. So we name this as x1, y1. Then where we have 6,6, this will be our x2, y2. So we are going to come up with the formula for finding the gradient, which is gradient is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So from here, we are just going to fuse in. We are just going to fuse in where we say m equal to. So y2 is 6, y1 is 0. Then x2 is 6, x1 is 0. So we just put in 6 minus 0 over 6 minus 0. So from here, we can say m equal to, so 6 minus 0 gets 6 over 6 minus 0 gets 6. So m is equal to what? 1. This is the gradient. Okay, so we know that the formula that you use to find the equation of the straight line, this is the formula that we use where we say y minus y1 is equal to m open bracket x minus x1. You can use this formula to find the equation of the what? Of the straight line. So in this case, we have this coordinate and this coordinate. We can pick any, this or this. So for me, I'll pick this one, which is having 0, 0, so that I reduce the calculation. So I'll get this one 0, 0. So when I get this one, when you look at your formula, you have y minus y1 equal to m in brackets x minus x1. So m is the gradient, then y1 can be, we say this is x1, this is y1. So y1 will be 0, x1 will be a 0. So this y and this x, they will be just there in the equation. So what you are going to do is we replace, we'll say y minus, so the y1 is a 0, m is gradient, which is 1, open bracket, x minus 0, because x1 is also a 0. So from here, we say y minus 0 equal to 1 times x is x, minus 1 times 0 is 0. So from here, we have y is equal to x. So remember what I said? I did mention that this is the line y equal to x. Okay, so I just wanted to calculate so that you get an idea. If you are finding this other line as well, you use this same method. Okay, or you are finding a line that has passed here, or a line that has passed somewhere here. Okay, use the same method. But for this one, you know that this is the line y is equal to x. Okay, so I hope you have gotten something from here. Now, this line is a broken line, okay, a dotted line, as you can see. The shaded part is less, then the unshaded part is greater. The upper region is greater, the lower region is less. So they want us to describe the unshaded part, which is the greater side. So we are going to use the inequality sign, where we just say this is for line 2, y, we leave space, x. So we are defining the unshaded part, which is greater. So I've said you say y is greater than what? X for this one. Okay, this is what we have shaded. This is less, this is greater. So we are defining the unshaded part. So we have found this line. You have also found this line. We need to find this line, which is passing right here. Okay, so if we are moving together, step 1, you need to find the gradient of this line. Okay, then use the gradient to find the equation of the straight line. So you can pick the points. You can either pick these points and this point, or you can pick this point and this point. It's up to you. Okay, so if we pick this point, which is lying on this line, this is the point where you say this is the line y is equal to 0. So on x we have 3, 0. Okay, all right, then we can pick this also. It's fine. Now if you don't want to pick this, you can pick this. So this is the line, this one, x is equal to 0, and it's on y. So these coordinates are going to be 0, 6, because this is the line x is equal to 0 and it's on here. So what we are going to do now is we have our coordinates. So let us just use the these coordinates. So the coordinates that we have, we say C, we have 3, 0, 3, 0. Then I'll name these coordinates as D, these 0, 6, 0, 6. So from here, I'll need to name these coordinates. This is x1, y1, x2, y2. So formula for gradient, we have y2 minus y1 over x2, x1. So this is the formula. So from here we say gradient equal to our y2 is a 6 right here, minus our y1, which is a 0 right here, over our x2 is a 0, minus our x1 is a 3 right here. So when you substitute, we say 6 minus 0 is 6, 0 minus 3, this will give us a negative what? 3. So we can do this. We say 3 here, 1, 3 into 6, it's a 2. So we have a negative 1 into a 2. Finally, the value of the gradient will be a negative 2. So upon identifying this gradient now, we can use it to find the equation of the straight line, of which we know that the formula we're going to use is y minus y1 equal to m, open bracket, x minus x1. across. So remember the line that you are finding. Okay, so this is the line that you are finding the equation for, and you have this coordinate. We also picked this coordinate, so you can either use this or this, any of those two coordinates. Okay, so let's say we choose to use, these are the coordinates, we choose to pick this one for C, where we said we have 3, 0. So this is x1, y1. So we just plug in, we say y minus, the y1 is a 0, which is here. The value of the gradient is a -2, open bracket, x minus x1 is a 3 right here. So from here, you just need now to multiply. Okay, so to multiply, we are going to say y minus 0. I know this 0 won't go anywhere. Okay, so I will just write y equal to -2 times x. This will be -2x. -2 times -3. This will be a positive what? 6. So what we can do is we write y. We leave space because this is the equation. We need to come up with an equation. We write y, we leave space, then -2x plus 6. Then we go back to our diagram so that we check which region are we going to define. Okay, so when we come back to our diagram right here, so this is the line. The upper region is greater, then the lower region is what? Less. Okay, so greater, less. So the shaded part is less. They want us to define the unshaded part right here, which is greater. So you're going to use greater. Now looking at the line, this is a solid line, so it's going to be greater or equal to. Okay, so you come back here now on your final answer, where you just say y is greater or equal to. So this is the answer for our third line. So our final answer, remember the first equation we said y is less than or equal to 6. The second one we have said y is greater than x. The last one, y greater or equal to -2x plus 6. So these are the answers. So thank you so much everybody for having time to view this content. Come to the end of our lesson. This is your presenter, Mr. Mlenga. Bye bye.